Better check it out, Gary.
Looks all right to me. Check yourself.
All right. Looks good from here, Gary.
Hey, what's your problem?
Oh, we don't have a problem. This time.
Want to try, kids?
Maybe later.
Hi, how's everybody doing? The reports of my death were greatly exaggerated. I am surviving what is a combination of colds, allergies, and complete emotional breakdown at what happened to the only halfway decent show in the entire effing world that I actually used to like. Before we get into my sad song, let's talk to the one and the only, the beautiful, the outgoing, the star-like Zaxx. How are you doing tonight?
I thought that was going to be a throw to purple for sure, so I wasn't paying attention. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I am planning my trip. We're going to Europe end of the week, and so my job right now hates me for when I take time off. So they punish you the entire time before. So when I'm not online doing this, I'm basically working so I can go on vacation. But I'm not complaining. It's an opportunity a lot of people don't have. So
yeah. Purple Valkyrie, you live in Europe all the time. Is there anything about Portugal and Spain that you want to remind Zaxx about that he should try out? I've been to Spain. It's been years ago. Barcelona, boy, I ate a lot of great food, saw some great museums, and tried to get I got not held up on the subway, but somebody tried to steal my wallet, and my brother and I proceeded to kind of beat the shit out of the guy and throw him out of the subway. But yeah, dude, that's how I roll. But yeah, what do you like? What do you want to? Well, first of all, how are you doing, Purple Valkyrie? What's going on? And then if you're going, what's your favorite part of Portugal and Spain for Zaxx to go over there?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's really cold over here at the moment, so I'm wrapped up in a blanket. So if anybody is really hot over in the US, sorry to rub that in your faces, but yeah, I'm cold. Portugal is beautiful. I like Spain as well, but I would say stay away from the tourist destinations, and you'll be fine. Lots of drunk Brits gather around on the beaches.
I can see that.
Probably best to avoid that, but yeah, Portugal is beautiful. Yeah, fantastic museums, and as Salty said, the food is delicious and some great wine as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some of the Roman ruins that are throughout that area that most people don't see because it's not Italy, right? And also I'm going to Sintra to go see the reverse tower that was used in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, no way. Sweet. You've got to send pictures of that, dude. That's freaking awesome.
Dressed as Gandalf.
Yes, dressed as Gandalf. Commando Gandalf, too, Zaxx. Speaking of Commando, go ahead.
No, I'm going to try to. I can't now. Now I've got the visual.
Did I blow it? Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Commando, Thunder Sensei 150's in the house, and she says the most Mondayest Tuesday ever. I agree.
Isn't that the truth? Yes.
That's bang on.
Work is a bear. God, I'll have to have a discussion in the members show talking about my perceptions since March of 2020 and how removing people who are capable of critical thought and independent thinking and saying F you to things that don't make sense. When you remove all those people from corporate environments, what are you left with? John Doe says, did House of the Dragon get bad? We will get into that. I'm going to say it is not what I hoped it would be. Hail to William 101, longtime channel member, one of my Tabaran. It's great to see you. Thanks for being here. And hail to Abomination AJ. Good dude. Putting out great content. Love his takes. The one and only, you know what I'm going to say? It's Rachel, Dr. Rachel Lindbergh, Maneater. Whoa, here she comes. It's true. Dr. Rachel, you know it. Don't deny it. Parrot's Head is here. It's great to see you. The one and only Max Mercer says, turns out the warning for the 24th. I can't read that. I can do this. I can do this, but I can't read that. That's what I can do.
Smile and nod. Yes.
We said take it with a grain of salt. Here's the thing. I think you need to take it with a grain of iodine the way things are looking. Again, I'm not making the news. I'm merely reporting on it. And that pipeline has been, oh God, yeah, we'll just leave that there and say, Max Mercer, hail to you. The woman, No Dub is in the house. It says, yeah, whatever, Purple. 98 degrees in Arizona. Dude, same thing here in South Central Texas. Central Texas. John Doe says, it's cooling off here in Colorado. Well, I envy you that.
Nice.
Look who we have in the house. My brother from another mother. This is been through the ringer and back. A man who's had epiphanies, a man who's making big changes in his life. I have a lot of respect for you, and I love you, Nico. I really do. It is wonderful to see you here, and I hope things are getting better for you. Thank you for the $10. It means a lot because YouTube is really screwing all of us right now. It's really bad. Yeah, some of us more than others. Not gonna name names, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good for anybody. Let me get to the super chat for $10 from the one and only Nico Glock. Says, hey lovers, P.S. Jolly's mom. Wow. Wow. Nico, never change. Dude, never change. Dude. I can go up to Dallas just to try and not get arrested with Nico Glock again. Jay the Deep Minded says, great fish and seafood in both Portugal and Spain. Good beer too. Enjoy Zaxx. And look at this, Dr. Rachel Lindbergh. Salty, stop spreading that around. No man is going to come near me if you keep warning them all. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. Hail to Daniel. Thank you for the $10. You guys are awesome. It's we'll see how long my voice holds out. I'm lucky that I get to work with Zaxx and Purple Valkyrie on this. Max is working on grad school. He'll be back next week. Nathan was supposed to be on. His daughter has choir, and go do real life stuff. That's how I say that. So, and his kids are awesome. Nathan's kids are awesome. It says $10 super chat from Daniel. Says a word of advice to Zaxx. This is from Daniel. This man just got back from Europe. He says, I went to my air quotes doctor and printed out a very official medical exemption for public transport. Only needed it once for a Karen that threatened to throw us off the train.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Wow.
that does vary from country to country. I think Spain and Portugal are a little bit more lax, but places like Italy are a little bit more papers, please.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. I have two forms of identification as an American living in Texas. Which one would you like? I've got both of them. There you go. Yeah.
I'm hoping the forecast calls for some beach boobs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's sunny with a chance of nipples. Yeah. Speaking of nipples, we have Parrot Head for $2. Thank you so much, Parrot Head. For $2 says, where's your puppet representation? Hopefully all of those puppet bastards are incarcerated or under a 48-hour psych hold. I jumped on Snowdub's channel to try and help a brother out because you guys aren't going to believe this, there was drama on a YouTube channel, and I wrote in to try and help my man Snow because Snow does great work. All those puppet creators do. I was glad I could lend a hand, but man, sometimes you have to crawl through minefields with barbed wire, with all kinds of crazy stuff happening, and just keep your head down and keep running sometimes. And last weekend was one of those situations. So, all right. Okay. So here we go. Sereg Sagrian, you got really upset with me, and you have every right to, because you're a member of my channel. You're here every week. I don't know how to say your name right. And that's partly because I'm not that smart. And also because by the time I start doing this show, my brain is kind of worn out from dealing with morons all day at work. So if you can phonetically tell me how to say your name, Zaxx, you try it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong here. You read it.
Seregian. Seregrian. Or Seragrian. One of those two.
Okay.
Which one?
So
one or two.
Yeah, I know. So we're not making fun of you. We're actually trying to ask because I've taken your criticism to heart. Hello to Silverlock. Says, evening, Silverlock. It's great to see you. Hail to you. I hope you, sir, are feeling better after all of the things that have been going on in your life. It's wonderful to see you here. Thank you for always being on these shows. And he, of course, says, howdy. Looks like Dr. Rachel Lindbergh. Did I mention she's a whoa, here she comes. She was in Vegas. Wonder what she's doing in Vegas. Yeah, I think we've caught up except for Nerdscape. So we're going to get into a couple articles here. And before we do that, is anybody else noticed that our entertainment essentially has disappeared?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Got the name right.
Yep.
I got the name right.
Oh, which one? It's
Sarah Green.
Say it then. Sarah Green. Sarah Green. Sarah Green. Sarah Green. It's Tolkien Elvish. It's a form of Elvish I've not seen before. So thank you for that. Sarah Green. Sarah Green. And part of it is I'm a moron. So if I screw it up, But anyway, where I was going with this is that I had kind of I had a moment this weekend and decided to stop doing reviews of 2 shows live. And the first one was The Rings of Power, which I don't regret in any way. I mean, it was just, there's nothing to cover. I think it was Nerdrotic and and I didn't see the stream because I was working, but they essentially had in the title of their show saying it's unwatchable. The Rings of Power isn't a TV show. I don't know what it is. It's an absurdist play. It's a series of scenes meant to cause you to have an aneurysm. I really like. We haven't talked about this, Zaxx. Where are you sitting with that goddamn show, that Rings of Power show? Where are you sitting in purple? Like, guys, why did they do this? Why do we think they did this
for Rings of Power? I mean, I don't know why they're doing this, but I do know that this week they finally introduced a character I can get behind. His name is Table, and he's a strong character. He's got some depth to him. He's very sturdy. Table. Yeah. Table. Don't you think? He's got a lot of potential, that Table.
I didn't watch this. I walked away. Like, I was like, I can't do this anymore. It was like, I walked away. I had a clear break. I mean, it was just one of those things where I don't love it. I don't hate it. I just don't want to live next door to it. I don't want to let it in my house. I don't want to make sweet love to it. I want it to GTFO and don't let the door hit you in your not Tolkien ass on the way out. That's how I feel about the Rings of Power. Seriously.
But you could make sweet love to someone on that table.
I haven't seen the episode, so I'm really hoping now that this is a table that you're talking about.
Is this like Hodor? Is this like Hodor? Like Hodor? And it's like table. Somebody named Bale or Abel or something. Like, what am I missing here? Like, what about the chick with boobs? The one that's like a commander of armies. The one with all the repeat people. All I did is I saw that on Twitter where like they had the same 6 people wearing the same exact hats, and it's just like ping, 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 ping.
$60 million an episode.
$60 million an episode, and I'm like, I could have made that episode for probably $25 with some homeless people, and they probably would have been more convincing. all right, maybe $100 because we got to feed them give them nitrain. And they probably could have been more persuasive as a representation of Middle Earth than the dipshits that we've seen on the show. Sorry, go ahead, Purple. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You wouldn't have needed costumes, that's for sure. Yes.
The table is a character that has legs, right? He stands for something. Okay. Sorry,
I don't know what you're doing. Did I have an aneurysm? Am I in the afterlife? I mean,
No.
like, is it like, because this is not making sense, man. What are you talking about, Zaxx?
It's Rings of Power. It makes perfect sense.
It's you guys listen. Like, I apologize for gendering the table. I guess I don't know how it identifies, but it's certainly thick. It's strong.
Ladies.
Yeah,
Thick.
and Louise gets it. Louise X
Thick
Sparrow.
wood.
The table scenes were great. See,
Thick wood, almost like a leg.
Rock. It's a stone table.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I know.
You don't
didn't
want
watch
to.
the episode.
It's not worth it.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
go
yeah,
find a
the
clipping table now.
Hail to Max. It's great to see you, dude. I know you're busy with work. We talked about this. We look forward to having you back. We really do. Everybody, please give Maxfield Von Priestley, if you haven't already done it, give Max a subscription. Fantastic creator, good guy, true American, good values, handsome face, and very single, ladies. Very, very single. So go check out Maxfield Von Priestley. Yeah.
It's the table's very hard, like Max, and yeah, it's a table. It's
will you tell me in the private chat
has
WTF?
depth.
Because like I feel like I had like some type of an aneurysm, or this is like a Twilight Zone episode where like, oh, that word doesn't mean table or something like that. Now, wait a minute. Now look, you guys are ganging up on me. Look at Dr. Rachel Lindbergh. She's like, that table is
thick.
Damn, it's thick. Thick
And
wood.
listen,
I've heard that about people liking that thick
Well,
wood. Yeah.
people like thick wood, but I want to just I want to say too that the table has more acting range than Morford Clark, at least double, I would say.
What's double of zero?
Table is the answer to that question.
Table. Yes, there we go.
I'm not playing dumb. I really have no idea what you guys are talking about. I just that show. I mean, after the 4th episode, I had to ask myself, why am I staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning? And I was getting good views. I was getting, well, in the beginning, I'd get 400 views, and then YouTube has been doing what they've been doing to a lot of people. A lot of people I've been talking to that are content creators, where your 400 or 500 view video drops down to 300, and then maybe to the upper 200s. Why? I don't know. I don't use bots. I don't even know how the hell to do that. I think that's really effed up, to be honest with you. But YouTube just decides that it's going to take away 30% of your views. And I have a video that I put out that was at 150 on the weekend that YouTube is telling me that I now only have 35 for. So I'm not here to bitch and complain, but I'm here to say that it is getting harder and harder to invest the amount of time and effort that it takes for me to make the kind of show that I want. And YouTube seems to be doing this consciously, not just to me, to a lot of people that you probably know and whose videos you like, that I've worked with in other channels that are larger. It's getting weird. And I'm not a big believer in things just magically happen that aren't connected to reality or some other reason, but it's been going on for months. We talked to some people who produce a lot of big channels on YouTube. They thought it would have passed by now, and I don't want to violate confidences, but it is getting weird. It is getting really weird. And Zaxx, you got burned. I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive, but you kind of got burned by doing exactly what YouTube wanted you to do, that YouTube told you was okay to do, and which is to make shorts, which only YouTube makes money off of, and doesn't actually count toward your channel for anything. It's basically just giving YouTube free stuff.
Yeah, I'm not bitter about that, but yeah, for sure. And what I find interesting is that they've since that time pushed my shorts even harder, to the point where I'm getting double the views. I got 2.8 million views in a day after they after they demonetize me on these shorts. Like, so they're not really concerned about it, but and there's no copyright claim or strike or anything. It's just, yeah, they say too much reused content, which is true. I did that, and so yeah, but I'm still getting subs and I'm still getting views, and I don't really get what they're doing with that. And there's no clear path to like fix it, because I don't know. Do I have to do how many do I delete? All of them? How many's okay? I don't know. There's no rule. And yeah.
And if you don't do this, if you don't essentially work like a slave for YouTube, because even before this happened to you, Zaxx, you got millions of views on the cuts that you did from those shows, and it didn't count for watch hours, and you made a total of 63 cents for millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Now the rest of the money went to YouTube. And if you don't make shorts, they bury you. It's fascinating stuff. It's fascinating stuff. And yeah, I mean, again, we're not here to, this isn't a whining and complaining. And Leia Rose, thank you. It means a lot. I know you guys do. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that all of you are here, that all of you are so fierce and loyal and funny and smart and kind and just, I'm honored. I really am. And I know Purple and Zaxx are. A lot of you watch all of us. You watch Steve, you watch Nathan, you watch Zaxx, you watch Purple, you watch Max. I mean, we're very lucky like that. YouTube does not seem to want to encourage to make content, and it's getting weird. It's really getting strange, and it's messing with our heads a little bit as creators, because we are trying to make good content, not just have how to put makeup on men while changing our pronouns to zir or something like that for a short video, you know, because that's kind of what they want to push on YouTube. So
yes, they definitely want the TikTok crowd.
Yeah. What do you got here, Zaxx? Oh, Jesus. What is this? Is that the table?
That's the table. And so
it's a nice table.
It is. I want to turn this show is now going to be called There for Real, guys. They eat at this table, and then they talk about this table for minutes and minutes, and then it turns out this table is like a special rock that Durin wants back because it's only used for funerals and tombs. And so Gil-galad gives them the table, and then the rest of the episode, what they're doing is carrying the table back with them. So what we have here is a case of
what?
There, and back again, a table story.
Would you say they're carrying this table? Who's
Yes.
they? Who's they? Is that a pronoun in one person, or is there a multitude of people like normal human beings used to say in English? Like, what is they? Like Elliot Page? What are you talking about?
You know how they have lots of CGI people?
Yes.
I think probably them.
not
But the
really.
tables, you get a sense the table's moving. I think the elves are moving it for them. But the only people you see talking about it are Elrond and Durin. And Durin's height keeps changing the entire time too, which throws you off at the same time.
Everybody, I was losing my mind over that because I couldn't stay in. I couldn't have my suspension disbelieved or my disbelief suspended. I couldn't suspend anything. It was just like, why is he short? Why is he tall? Why is he wide? Why is he? It's just like, you guys, $60 million on an episode of TV. Peter Jackson did movies 20 years ago where they don't have this problem. What is different? You know?
And that shouldn't be also points out that trip should take about 3 to 5 months moving that table.
Yep. But I'm not joking. You guys think I'm joking. The table is interesting, and it has a history. It's like a very rare, you have to go super deep to get this kind of stone to make this table. We learn all about this, nothing about the characters, but the table, we know a lot about, and it's on a journey now.
It's probably because it's got more personality than most of the cast.
It does.
This is insane to me. This is insane. This is why I kind of had this emotional, I needed to just stop and go, what am I doing with my life? Because of things like this, you know? I mean, here's the thing, especially after watching other good movies, I mean, movies from the 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s, I would go and watch those movies to psychically rinse my brain from shit like this. And the problem is that shit like this has all we've been getting. And I got a newsflash. what if this is as good as it gets? What if everything from here, from this point forward, is going to make this show look genius? Because that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. I really am. Now, there are people who are excited about what might be happening with DC. I hope they're right. I don't think they are. I want them to be right, though. There are people who are excited about the new Deadpool movie. I don't care. I don't. I love Hugh Jackman. I want to, Wolverine died. He was done. It was decent, right? Why are we bringing back Wolverine again? I thought old man Logan. I mean, again, did I have an aneurysm? Like, I thought old man Logan was kind of that's it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's effing Wolverine, right? Is it the problem because I'm a bigot, misogynist, and racist and ultra MAGA, Kyle? Is that why I don't get this?
I don't know. But I have a clip for you. It's only 8 seconds. It should be okay, but it's a key piece of dialogue from the episode, and it's during the table's journey.
Do I want this in my life? Okay.
You need it. Are you ready?
No, I don't need this, dude. Oh, I like it muted. This is awesome.
Is beard. Enough with the quail sauce. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Oh.
That's dialogue. Somebody
great.
wrote that. During the
writers for this show, and here's the thing. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. Who directed this? Wayne Yip. Wayne Shi Yip. What did Wayne Shi Yip do? Directed multiple episodes of Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who, featuring not Doctor Who Jodie Whittaker. Then his reward for that was getting 2 or 3 episodes in the Wheel of Time. The very well-received, incredibly faithful adaptation of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series. You know what his reward was for doing that? His reward was to get half of the first season of The Rings of Power, to take all of the horrible things that he did with Dr. Jodie Whittaker and for Wheel of Time, and to bring them into not Tolkien's world. So again, I've reached this place where if I'm doing this and I'm bringing this into my life and it's making me insane and it's pissing me off and making me drink way too much wine, which I'm not saying that happened, but it might have on one night, then I'm the problem, because I keep bringing this into my life. It has no place in my life. Peter Jackson does. Good movies, good entertainment does. And I know as a YouTuber, I'm supposed to cover pop culture and the culture war. The problem is there is no more war. Guys, this is it. And we're responding to worse and worse and worse and more inferior grades of things that we know are not good. And the thing is like what we thought was not good 3 years ago now looks like, oh my God, let's watch that.
Well, the most precious thing that you have is your time, and why would you give it to something that is so terrible? I can understand watching a show when hoping that it's going to be good, or hoping, giving it the benefit of the doubt. But we've given so many shows the benefit of the doubt now that we don't want to do it anymore. No, I mean, and I'm going to do a retrospective on the Rings of Power when it's done. House of the Dragon, I did watch with Purple Valkyrie afterwards. And Steve, I know you went on. Hey, what are you doing here? How did you sneak in? Hey, everybody, Prophet of the Dragon is here. I'm busy losing my shit over stuff, but hail to you, Steve. Thanks for being here.
Sorry I'm late.
No, it's all right. Steve has been really not feeling well. He and I are in touch all the time. I'm glad you're here tonight. You guys, please give a subscription to the Prophet of the Dragon, not because it's charity, but because the guy's got heart. And let me get to this super chat from Nico, because hail to you, Nico. We love you. He says, I enjoy watching all of you, and I appreciate all the hard work and investment. I don't know how you guys keep it up with such little in return. It's interacting with you guys. It's having people show up to our live streams and the comments we get in chat, because you guys make this show. You guys, we could sit here and go blah, 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 but you guys in chat are the ones that make it fun. I mean, Purple Valkyries, Zaxx, you guys have your own live shows. I mean, you know what that's like. If we didn't have the awesome people we did in chat, I'd just be staring at Steve going, that's a cool Spider-Man shirt, you know?
It is a cool Spider-Man shirt, but yeah, you are absolutely right. It is the chats, and it is having these incredible people that are on it every single week, no matter what we talk about. You guys are there with the comments, and you drive the chat, and I love it. Whether we're talking pop culture or whether we're talking woo-woo or films or whatever it is, you guys are there, and you know, and you get it.
Yeah. Even if we mispronounce your names, which is not intentional, because like I said, remember, I was kind of an idiot. So, but Zaxx, the same thing. I mean, a lot of the people have carried over to the Thursday show. Other people they're on Max's, they go to Max's Man Cave. I mean, talk about that. I mean, that's why we do this, is to get to interact with you guys,
Yeah, and like that's all that really matters, really. And when we're looking in the chat, and before you do a show starting live, especially if it's on your channel, you always wonder, like, is anyone going to actually show up for this? And when you do show up, and we start to see people in the chat we recognize, and it's going to be a good show, and there's a lot of people who contribute to these shows. So when we say that, like, the show is you, we're not just saying that. Like, the chat makes it go, and you guys entertaining us while we're trying to entertain you is what makes it all worthwhile. Like, Nosferatu, he cracks me up every single time on chat the whole time.
Really
a part
is
of the show.
Symbiotic relationship.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
Please, too much encouragement for Nosferatu.
Keep going, Nosferatu.
And on Saturday, I did my first watch party, just test it out on Discord. We watched Excalibur. There was a bunch of us, and it was great. We had a great time just hanging out, watching a movie all together. That was a fantastic time. Good film, good people, and good time. So I want to do more things like that going forward.
I want to be there for that. I was in bed under the influence of cold medicine and red wine because I was genuinely sick. So I am really sorry I missed it. That is an incredible movie, and it's a really good idea. I think there's value in that because, like we've been talking about, and Purple and I, we'll get into the House of the Dragon, but something happened with the House of the Dragon yesterday, because I finally watched it, and it kind of broke me. And Steve, let's not get into why, but you and I and Nathan, Amanda Manethrin, talked for 2 hours last night, because we're friends, about what the hell is going on, and can't we have one good show? But how are you feeling just in general? Is there any show that's coming out that you're looking forward to? Not just as you can review to your channel to, like rage at, because I'm tired of raging at shit that sucks. But I mean, is there anything coming out that you're looking forward to?
No, I mean, we even looked at it. I mean, I don't think there's a single interesting looking show in the fall lineup, if you could call it, at least not for me. I mean, to each his own, or her own. But just looking at the fall lineup of shows, it's very dismal and not encouraging, and there's nothing jumped out at me. It's like, hey, that's coming out. But,
yeah. Let me get to this from Squeaka, and then Purple, I'll give it to you. Thank you, Squeaka. Hail to you. I miss playing D&D with you in your chainmail bikini, Squeaka. For $5, she says, this fellowship is the most amazing group on YouTube. I am so thankful for you all. You three are the cornerstone and the reason we keep coming back. Well, thank you. Nobody likes Steve, but we keep him around anyway. But thanks. I'm just teasing.
It's okay.
Squeaka, it's wonderful to see you. I couldn't do what I do without Steve. I'm teasing. This is what we do. That means a lot, Squeaka. And we've been working, all of us, really hard to make something very different, not just copying what the bigger channels do, and it's not easy. It's not easy. So it means a lot when people acknowledge that. So thank you very much, Squeaka. But yeah, go ahead, Purple. You were going to say something.
Yeah, you guys are kind of hit the nail on the head. It's like, what is there to look forward to? I mean, the only thing that I'm curious about that's coming is Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, and even that's from Netflix. So I'm thinking, is it going to be bad? I mean, I hope not. Yeah. I really like him as a creator, but I've gotten to the point where it's like a knee-jerk reaction. Anything on a streaming service, is it automatically going to be woke? Is it going to be badly written? And there is literally nothing coming out at the cinema that interests me.
Zaxx, you brought up this table, and I think it was a stroke of genius. Thank you for that. This is a $4.99 super chat from Thunder Sensei 150. She's for $4.99. She says, when the cast is more wooden than the table, you're going to have a bad time. And it's been from the very first episode. Not only are they wooden, but they're not even one-dimensional. They're not even cartoon characters. They're soap opera caricatures wearing armor, and it's plastic armor that's not very well made, and they don't actually do anything. They just talk, and then the scene ends. And that's been like that for 4 episodes, you know. And for a while there, House of the Dragon was like different, and we will get into it pretty quick. But House of the Dragon,
I got one more thing about Rings of Power, which is bugged me.
Please.
If you were to transport a cavalry force across the ocean from Numenor to Middle Earth, how many small to medium-sized longships would you need? Is it more than 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hundreds.
It's more than 5 too, by the way. But yeah.
Well, the other part too is horses need to eat. You need to have anvils, you need to have backup armor, you need to have food, you need to have water, you need to have tents. But there I go. This is misogyny. This is bigotry. I'm just afraid of strong women. And this is yet another sign of extremism, like the fact that I do my own canning. Is because I don't like corporate shit that doesn't tell stories, because its real agenda is to push ESG scores, whose real agenda is to push the transhuman narrative. And I'm going to say that on my channel until they take my channel away, because it's become really clear, and it's not a conspiracy theory. The reason why we don't have a hero's journey is that human beings are capable of evolving, of being heroes, of being dynamic, of overcoming obstacles. When you're nothing more than a meat puppet to be a consumer and programmed to accept things, you don't have a soul. You don't have individuality. Very interesting comments from someone who was just elected in Italy that I found really stirring and entirely applicable. What were you going to say, Zaxx? What are you going to say, Steve Purple? You guys jump on here before the FBI breaks in the door of my house.
Yeah, you are correct about that, and Italy. And funny how people are panicking now after that one speech. But good for them, and Sweden.
What did they expect was going to happen?
Yeah. To eat the bugs, live in the pod. You don't need power. Why don't you want the chip? What are you afraid of? Don't you want to be on a universal credit system? Don't you just want to be told to consume Zaxx? You're going to own nothing, and you're going to like it. You're going to like it.
Apparently. Yeah, I can't wait.
It's become undeniable that our entertainment has been deliberately destroyed to not be entertaining. Because when you are a meat puppet, you don't need to be entertained. You need to do what you're told, consume, and shut the F up. That's it. We're rebelling against that. And the problem has been that we here on YouTube, despite us being small channels, now there are very large channels and we all know who they are. And a lot of us started doing this because those large channels told us to come and help fight. And we've been doing that. The problem is that regardless of the channel size, people are identifying with something very important. And that is what they can see with their own eyes and what is the truth. Not my truth, not Purple's truth, not Steve's truth, not some dipshit whose pronouns are, I don't know, deer and road or some crazy shit like that. What they can actually see. And when we point out that things are wrong and this doesn't make sense, we are beating billion-dollar transnational corporations whose only game plan is to call us names for pointing out that what they're making is not what they're selling. So what are they going to do? Well, I think what they have been doing, which is that's why they're minimizing us. They're taking away the views on our videos. They're actively working to demoralize us. In some cases, they're demonetizing people on this panel. after rewarding and encouraging them to do something. And they're more than willing and happy to have that person keep doing it, but they get to keep all the money. It's insane. It's clown world. It's effing clown world.
Yeah. Well, I've experienced it firsthand now, really. But the shocking part, which shouldn't have been shocking, was just that they did promote it further after the fact. So
they just took over your business, man. You know, they're like they were pimping you up before, but now they're not even giving you a cut. They're not even sorry, I don't mean to be graphic. I know, where's your 68 cents? Zaxx got 4 million views. They gave him 68 cents.
Yeah.
And it's like now he doesn't even get the 68
No,
cents. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at you.
True though.
This is what it does to us. I mean, like, we don't talk about it because we look, you guys don't want to hear us bitch about it, right? You don't. Nobody does. You want, like, amuse me. I get it. I want to be amused too. It's just, if you're wondering, I mean, I'm looking at tons of content creators, and there's people that started before I did that have 5 or 7 or 8,000 subs, and you all know who I'm talking about that's out there. People who have daily shows, people who have bigger shows, their views are down too. And what's the common denominator is we're critical of corporate sponsored culture and ESG score driven entertainment, whether it be Pinocchio or Trans Pinhead or, God help us, Indiana Jones in the Temple of Vagina with 5, which is coming out. And now we got Wakanda Forever with, I can't even make the jokes I want to make about that goddamn show, but it's like, here we are. And it's like, there's nothing coming. There's nothing, I don't know. I'm ranting like a lunatic. Purple, save me from myself. Zaxx, help me out here.
It is hard. It's like, well, what the heck do you cover? And it's even harder to pivot into making something else. If you build your channel and you are known for something, to change course entirely is a huge gamble, and it's one that a lot of people are weighing up the pros and cons of at the moment.
Yeah. Steve, you can't just sit there and look beautiful. What are you thinking over there? What are you feeling?
Sorry, I'm half dealing with my youngest because he's been in and out. But I'm completely deflated right now. I'm not sure what even to do because
it's hard, guys. Like, we're not being dramatic. We're not. We talk about this stuff because we don't know what we're doing wrong, and what we're doing wrong is we're being persuasive and effective. We're being good content creators, but we are not being good shills for, exactly who I'm talking about. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, it's just, I make two. It's definitely a case of 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. At least if you feel, every time you feel like you're making progress, something sort of knocks the wind out of you, and then you don't know if you should just stay the course or try and double down, and then you double down and it doesn't do the same thing, right? So just trying to find my way again, I think. I don't know. Plus being down isn't really helping.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zaxx.
Yeah, do you mind if I read Seregrian's member chat? Because I think it's
please go ahead, Zaxx. Take it.
She's been at Tavarian for 3 months. My writers forum has come to the conclusion we can write better episodes than Amazon's writers room. We point and laugh at these people, and like, to be fair, a writers forum that's way above their level. Like,
it is.
I got a 7-year-old who's running around upstairs screaming and yelling. His class could probably write a better script than this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. And that's the thing. I mean, we told them what they could have done with the show. The problem is the normies don't care. I mean, I talked about this, I think, on one of the live shows I was doing on a Thursday, where my parents, who were in their 70s, will have watched the same episode of MASH hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. How many times is Klinger going to do something for Christmas back from the 70s, right? They will leave it on in the background. Why? Because it's background noise. There are people who do not want this show on while they're, I don't know what, looking at porn and, I don't know, OnlyFans and ordering new snow tires or buying a new toaster. They don't even want it on in the background while they're like not paying attention to the TV. What does that tell you about the show? Seriously. I mean, I don't know. This show was meant for a world full of normies from all these different cultures. That's what they told us. Their objectives were extraordinarily clear by their own definition. By their own definition, they have failed more catastrophically than any of us on this panel thought. I never thought for 1 minute, not 1 minute, that what we got was going to be this. And you Zaxx, talking about the table, it's funny, but now I want to know what that table's about. I want to know
the
what
table's
that is.
never going to make it. I do want to know I want to know the backstory about the table. Me and Zach this has traveled many a stream with me and Zach.
I want T-shirts that say the Rings of Power with the table on it, guys. Let's make this happen.
That was the best costuming in the show. That table was nice and sleek and smooth. Somebody smoothed the heck out of that table, and then just how gingerly they were handling it as they walked back to Khazad-dûm. It was amazing.
But I thought Khazad-dûm was just around the corner. You know, they walk back and forth all the time.
It's like 7-Eleven. It's just right down the street.
Yeah. It's not just me with the table, guys. It's not just me with the table. It's a thing.
I
Can you imagine that this was what they bought rights?
This is what they did with $1 billion. $1 billion. $1 billion. $1 billion. Again, they brought in the most qualified people to write Tolkien. Who was it again? Guys, remember who they brought? Payne and McKay, whose only credits before this catastrophic failure was a really shitty Star Trek movie. And all of us said it over, everybody on YouTube, over and over and over and over. And guess what? Somehow, all of us were wrong. We were wrong to think that it was going to, we didn't know that they were going to go to this other level of hell, of just pure, unadulterated shit that I have never seen in my life. Honestly, I have to let this out because, I mean, you can't with any sanity or seriousness have a discussion. Not that it's not Tolkien, but that it's entertainment. That somebody who you even let near Days of Our Lives as a writer would be doing this show, and then I don't get it. Like, where do they go from here? Here's the thing. Are all these people going to fail upwards? Are they now going to write for the next series of, like, are they going to write for the Brandon Sanderson movies and series? What are they going to do? Because that's what Hollywood seems to do. It's rewarding failure with the audience, but it is rewarding a success that we keep talking about. They are hitting the objectives of the ESG score mandates within these corporations. The executives don't give a shit how many people watch this. They don't. What they give a shit of is how many of those objectives from an ESG standpoint, which they get bonuses for on their contract, are hit. It is my opinion and my strong belief, the reason why our entertainment is never going to change until this ESG score driven dreck is gone, is that these things start from the top. These organizations, if you're an executive, you get millions of dollars in bonuses by all of your diversity, inclusion, and representation, which includes trans, vegetarianism, climate change, all the stuff. It's there. You got to have it in your shows. The plot. Who gives a shit about the plot? This is where we're at. Yeah. So, go ahead, Zaxx.
I was gonna say that it's there is no story. Like, they've gone beyond that point. There's like, nothing really happened at all the last episode. Not really.
There was a table.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was brought up to me that they ended the episode exactly where they left it. They were getting on boats, getting ready to leave. It's like, well, that's a way to push the plot forward. You didn't move a step. The table moved a few steps, but nothing else.
Did we have any more homicidal Harfoots this episode?
Yes.
Any cannibal? I'm waiting for cannibalism with the Harfoots. I'm waiting for them to eat the old and the young that don't keep up.
Well, I'd actually watch the show. No, her flowers bloomed in her hair, so you know that they bloomed. So you know
they were talking about cutting the wheels off their cars, so they couldn't keep up.
Yep.
Forget
Yep.
can't keep up. Making sure they can't keep up.
The lovable Harfoots want to sabotage the ones behind to make sure they die. Yeah.
Thinning the herd, I think that's called. Yes.
Yep.
Wow. No wonder they're not in the third age.
I'm really glad I'm not watching this show anymore. Nico Glock, you've been very patient for $10. Says cold medicine and red wine. It's what's for dinner and breakfast. Only on weekends and only on this weekend. It took me a couple days to recover from that. It's not like I'm 21 anymore. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Just let's go to Denny's and I'll flood my system with grease and fat and preservatives and wash out all that red wine and chemicals out of my body. Nico, we miss you, brother. I hope you're doing all right. Let me also get to this. And Zaxx, it's Ceregrian. Ceregrian, right?
Ceregrian.
Ceregrian. Like I said, Ceregrian. I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. This is for $15. You guys, thank you very much. You're making me laugh. Says Salty has just given me the next idea for my next video attempt, how to write fan fiction in a Tolkien setting. Reach out to me. I'm on Twitter. I'm not going to tell you how to do anything, but I would love to be part of that because we'll just say I've done some writing in the past and I would love pointers from you. You know, I'm always trying to learn how to do things different and new things. You can ask Zaxx. I'm crazy like that. And, I would love to learn that because, I've been working on learning green screen stuff. And I half joke about, why can't we make our own small little independent things that don't suck? How could I make a movie?
We have to.
How could I make a movie that's worse than The Rings of Power? How could I make a movie worse than Ghostbusters 2016? How could I make a movie worse than Captain Marvel? I can't. That's the trick to all this. So I just need to find other people who have talent, and not just talent, but have the same passion for just wanting to make good things. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with everything, but I'm trying to learn everything that I can. I really am. So, Zaxx, I know you got to go. How are you doing on time, brother?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'd love to stay. This has been awesome. This has been fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it was good to go leave off for a few weeks on a kind of a fun show. I severely derailed into Table Town. But
no, thank you for introducing us to Table.
That's why we do these Tuesday shows. We haven't even opened up one effing article yet because we're talking about the table, and the table is more exciting to me and compelling than talking about how Netflix, their financial officer, just quit and they're losing 20 million subscribers. Oh, shock and horror. Why could that be? Must be all those ultra MAGA people.
Must be. Yep.
I hope you have fun.
Thanks, man. And Squeaker says I'm going to call it the Table of Power. She's starting her own show. I'm excited about that one.
Nice.
But yeah, I gotta run. But I don't know when I'll be on again at all. I'm going to try to do some stuff while on my trip. Maybe do some shorts, things like that. Of some of the cool things I'm seeing.
Topless beaches.
Topless beaches.
Yes.
Topless beaches and monuments and possible ruins.
Yes.
If I can't, I won't. And if I can, I will. And if not, I'll see y'all when I get back. And thank you.
You're awesome.
Much.
No,
Safe
thank
travels.
you.
Appreciate it, man.
Have
Thanks,
fun.
guys.
Eat a lot of really good food and seafood, bro. But
I can
good
guarantee
luck.
you that.
Sweet. All right. Take it easy, Kyle. All right. Bye. Everybody subscribe to the one and only Zaxx. Our man is going to Europe to hang out with his wife for a little break. Anybody fleeing Canada to get away from that, you gotta be happy about. So hail to you. And Purple, I'm going to give the chat back to you so that you can do that voodoo if you still can. And we're about an hour into the show, and we have talked about, first of all, I'm going to do this. I really needed to get this off my chest, and I needed to get some feedback from you guys in chat. Because you heard Steve, and Steve is being sincere. Like, this kind of crushed us both. And not just us, but there are other content creators that we've been talking about with this. And we're not doing My Channel is Under Attack. I mean, mine was legitimately with those 2 strikes, which got jacked as soon as the trailer came out, that they said that wasn't the trailer. What a whole bunch of bullshit. All the drama that I went through and worry over that, over the Rings of Power, that's over that show. What? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather go film. Oh God, I don't know. I can't even say the things that I do. But anyway,
Literally anything else.
anything else, what's left? I don't know what to look forward to, but what I have been doing, and as I have been going back through movies I haven't seen in years, or in some cases, movies I have never seen. What I spend a lot of my time doing is going on a Dino's channel, the Late Late Horror Show, and listening to the radio stories while doing other things. The other thing I've started to do is really going back into role-playing games. I've had it requested by multiple YouTubers that we start doing old school. It's not D&D. It's another game by Steve Jackson. And if you're an RPG person, you know who that is. But we're going to start playing games. We're going to roll the dice. We're not going to use one of these online systems. Everybody's going to have their own dice. We're just going to hang out. Maybe we'll live stream it. Maybe we won't, or maybe we'll cut it up. But we have to make our own entertainment. What's going on in pop culture? The war, I don't know when I wouldn't say that we lost, but that they changed the rules of engagement. And maybe it has to do with the great narrative trademark. But they're silencing those people that were being ineffective in raising awareness, because the quality of the things that they're making is just terrible. It's terrible. And not only that, but it is undigestible as entertainment, much in the same way that Beyond Meat. The Beyond Meat is fake. It is chock full of artificial things that your body cannot process.
What?
You can't.
What?
Okay? What are you
No.
talking about?
The Beyond Meat is fake? No. I'm shocked.
Shut up. Jesus. Where I'm going with this, Dick. You sit there, all you do is you look pretty the whole show. He's like, I'm just going to ride this where, like, I'm going to put in the least amount of effort possible.
Steve hasn't got his
And then when
guns out
salt
today.
is getting deep,
That is my whole channel.
It's like, oh my God, I guess I better say something. And it's like, okay, all right, funny guy, you take the show over. Go ahead.
It's my
Yeah,
whole
make your
channel,
point.
literally my whole channel. No,
know.
I was shocked that the Beyond Meat is not real. It doesn't taste like cardboard at all. I've never tried it. I don't know that it tastes like cardboard either. I'll never try it.
Yeah. My point.
Don't know
Go
what
ahead,
it is.
Purple.
I have never heard
Yeah.
of this stuff, and I'm
Genetically
kind of thankful.
modified protein. Just say that. Where I'm going with that, and then we'll pivot into something else, is that we're getting fake meat you're supposed to ingest instead of meat. Now, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you're more than welcome to be. But we as a species evolved by being omnivorous and by eating things that actually occur naturally. Ingesting Beyond Meat is not very good for people. Satine, I tried that once and was sick for 3 days, if you know what that is. My point with this is that while we're getting artificial meat and we're getting fake meat, we're also getting artificial entertainment and fake entertainment. Now, our body and our mind cannot process those things as being entertainment because they're not. They may say Lord of the Rings, they may say the MCU, they may say Star Wars, it may have Darth Vader in it. God help us, I hope that doesn't happen with the DCEU. But when we try and digest that and get up from consuming what it is, we are not full. We're not satisfied. It feels wrong. And for me, I felt this revulsion like I had food poisoning. And that's what it's felt like with entertainment, where my body is expelling this. And I know it's a little graphic, but I have reached this point where I'm going to be really careful about what I put into here, because I don't know if you guys have been watching the news lately, but the world has kind of lost its effing mind. You know what I mean? And so the last thing I need is that crazy low rent trash, artificial entertainment in my brain when the world seems hell-bent on becoming an 80s dystopian radioactive wasteland. You know what I mean? I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch the monster movies. I'm going to go back and watch Predator. I'm going to go back and watch movies from the 40s with Bogart, or Westerns from the 50s and 60s with John Wayne. I'm going to watch that. or I'm going to watch like, nudie movies from the 80s, those R-rated skinny movies with, like, chicks with big hair and big boobs running around making bad jokes, and Revenge of the Nerds, things that are fun, Purple, go ahead. Where are you at with this? Am I being a lunatic? I mean, I am obviously, but where are you at with this?
No, you're not being a lunatic at all. I think you're right. There is a certain point where you've got to say, for your own sanity, if you're not enjoying something, enough is enough. And I said it earlier, time is, we don't have a lot of time. Our time is precious. We have to decide what we do with it. And I can't waste my time on terrible TV shows anymore or terrible films.
Yeah. There's a lot of great shows out there. Steve, you and Purple were on with Az and Nathan talking about great TV with Cobra Kai.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why? Well, let me get to this. And I'm going to let you guys pivot to this. Let's talk about what we love and why we love it a little bit. So this is, again, from Thunder Sensei. Hail to you, one of the coolest cosplayers I've met. For $9.99, she says, regarding Netflix, you'd think they'd get an influx from a certain child-loving crowd with films like Cuties and shows like Big Mouth. Well, I'm going to show you this article, and I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I simply could not believe. Hold on, okay, here we go. Let me show you what Netflix is making content about. I'm going to bounce you out, chat, so you can see this. Netflix is making a show about the global porn star who has been accused of taking liberties with female actresses in his adult entertainment. He's now got his own drama program.
Again, who is this aimed at? Who is the audience for this? Who wants to see this?
I don't get it.
I don't.
Steve, are you down with this? Is this what you want when you turn on a streaming service? I mean, is this what you want to watch? Come on, man.
Sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, sorry. Back and I know how to stream. It becomes abundantly clear, like, because I'm flipping all over the place to try to find something to watch these days, and it's like, oh, I haven't gone on Netflix. You go on there, and the first 5 of the top 10 watched are like, what the? Why did I even stop here? So it's just like, it's like the only thing I could my thought about that, seeing that screen there, was like, is that something they're releasing next to the Dahmer show that they just released to have a parallel? Like, because I was like, it's like, what is that?
I saw a headline and I wasn't going to cover it because it was depressing, and it's saying that Netflix hasn't seen viewership as high as this since Stranger Things season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that Dahmer, which I don't know, is that a documentary or are they making a dramatization?
It's a drama. It's a drama. Yeah.
It's a drama.
Which I actually watched. I watched it over the weekend because I couldn't sleep, so I needed something to pass the time. And yeah, I mean, if you like true crime, no, not at all. No, it's and it certainly annoyed a certain section of the population who don't like this type of representation.
I watched it too. When we were talking about Jeffrey Dahmer, some of it was interesting, but I'd say 70% of it, well, that's probably 60% of it isn't about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's more about his victims and like their lives. It's just like, way to go, I guess.
But Evan Peters did a fantastic job, though. He's clearly really studied the character. He's studied Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, he was creepy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Not going to watch that show. Just not my thing. Hello to Baron Orman Tag. He says, we have had fake meat for years. It's called McDonald's. No, that's called grade D utility meat. That's a true story. When you go to Taco Bell, when you go to McDonald's, Burger King, there's a grade of meat. It's called grade D utility. That's what you get, but it is not. Yeah, it's kind of like stuff on CW. But anyway,
there's a reason why we ordered tacos. Or nachos.
Yeah, I said don't, Purple Valkyrie, don't make the mistake of ordering Taco Bell. You know what? I was going to cover Batgirl, but I may make a video about it later. Do we really want? Do you guys in chat? Do you want to see the weird narcissistic? Look at me. This is the Batgirl. You could have had stuff that was put out on some social media thing. Do we want to do that? I need a call from you, Purple and Steve. Do you guys want to cover that, or what do you want to do?
I was surprised that there was any more news about this. I thought that this thing was dead and buried. I thought we were
All
done
right.
with it.
I thought it was
All right,
dead. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, who cares, right? I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's just like I thought it was gone completely.
It's not. It's not, kids. It's not. Do you know why? Because they can't let it go. You know why? Because the only reason this movie wasn't released and wasn't a billion-dollar success is because of all the toxic white men that are there for the patriarchy, that don't want a Latina cast within a beautiful movie that would have probably put all of those dumb I can't even make jokes about this. This movie's just dog shit. Let's take a look at Leslie Grace and what she shared on the Chinese spy app known as TikTok. Here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, let's get through this. I'm not going to dignify this. Let's
this
get
like,
to the good stuff.
Is this like supposed to be trying to drum up publicity to try and save it on some other streaming service or something?
I guess. I don't know. I have never clicked on a TikTok video before. Chat, I'm going to push you guys out so we can look at this. I'm going to move us over there. And, all right. I don't even know how to do this, but here we go. There we go. Look at Leslie. Wait. Oh, look at this. This is a shit site. Oh, my God. Now it bounced me out. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's compelling. I can't pause on TikTok. Look at this. Look at her. She's got an eating disorder.
She's tiny.
She couldn't get up. Did you see that?
No, your 12-year-old son could snap her in half, dude. Look at her. That's an eating disorder. Look at this. This is what she's showing off. You guys, what are we doing here? I mean, like, look.
That's it. That was supposed to drum up people's enthusiasm for a film.
I can't.
That right there.
Look at her. Look at those shoulders.
She's got Tessa Thompson face.
She couldn't jump up on her legs from her back from a pro position. She couldn't do it. They had to cut away. Man, what a good Batgirl.
I cannot imagine why the studio, who are all straight white men or white men, were so afraid of this strong, independent woman. I can't believe that they wouldn't allow this representation, because representation is all that matters. That poor woman, I am not in any way being insensitive. I'm not. But that woman didn't look healthy to me.
No,
you know,
no, she was incredibly thin, and even in the costume, it didn't really bulk her out. And the only person that I was interested in seeing was actually Brendan Fraser, because he's had a resurgence.
I know. I'm kind of interested in seeing The Whale, which everybody's going off about, but I don't need any more of The Message or anything like that. And John Doe, I think you're probably right. Yeah. And chat is on fire. Roman, yeah, get in line now for Regurgitation Station, brother. That's DJ Ronnie G says, get to that eye bleach station. Again.
Yeah, right.
You don't even need to make jokes, because if you just watch this stuff, why? Like, what are you doing? It's like, you know, it's like, am I taking crazy pills? I mean, I know that I'm Gen X or whatever the hell it is, and I'm not a Zoomer on TikTok being spied on by China or whatever the hell it is, and my pronouns are, you know, go fuck yourself. But no, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Steve, take it.
You think that's what the executives saw, and they're like, whoa, we can't release this movie. It's like that was the sizzle reel that they saw. She's like, look how good we're doing. It's like, whoa,
like an 11-year-old boy.
There's got to be more to it, though. I don't know. There's got to be something behind this, because I think they would have put this film out.
You want to know the best part of that sizzle reel was the plaque. It was sort of neat. It changed names.
It was off Etsy.
The third name, that was the best part. It changed from her name to Batman. That was the best part. Oh my god!
I'd rather see a TikTok of how that was made. Yeah.
I think I'm broken, man. I don't know.
Dr. Rachel Lindbergh, Salty, hey, want to watch this video? Should we talk about Batgirl? Chat's like, no. Salty's like, okay, let's watch this video and talk about it. It's called lag. It's that 7-second lag. And also because Purple and Steve maybe do it. Blame them, not your man Salty. Salty's just here to facilitate and regurgitate.
Who are you feeling?
Oh, Thunder Sensei, look at this merciless. She says, I thought this was Batgirl, not Scarecrow. I genuinely feel bad for that. Anybody who is told by Hollywood that a woman, I have to be really careful here. Purple, you're a woman. You can say things I can't say because I have a penis and you don't. So why don't you talk about this a little bit? So
basically, telling a £100 woman that you can do anything that a £250 man could do. You mean? Yeah. There is no way in hell that she looks like she could take anybody in a fight, let alone be Batgirl. I think I should have thrown my hat into the ring and tried to be Batgirl instead.
The Batgirl that they had on the 1960s TV show. Curves, boobs. She looks like she could hit too. That's Batgirl. And I didn't like what they did with Batgirl in whatever the hell that was. Was it the Schumacher ones? Was it Batman Returns or Batman Forever?
That was Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah. She wasn't Batgirl either. So, yes, Yvonne Craig. That shouldn't be. That's who I thought it was. She was the dope ride. Yeah, that's a strong, independent woman. Steve, what are you laughing about?
He's just thinking about Batgirl. That's all.
Oh, he's mute. Steve's mute. So.
Oh, sorry. I'm actually thinking back to when you said something about listening to me about anything, because that we all know that doesn't happen. So
I know. That's why I don't call on you very much. I know you're
especially because I've been muted half the time trying to not cough all over the place. So I apologize.
I know. No. We do this to each other when we're not live. We bust each other's balls like this, even worse when we're not live. Like last night we were doing it with Nathan. Nathan, you have the link if you want to hop in. We're going to wind down though. I promised Purple we'd go about an hour to 15 because of the time difference. Also because my voice, I've just got it back. So I don't want to lose it. Tomorrow, well, let's do this. What show, if there are people right now that are going, what am I supposed to watch? What show out there can you recommend that maybe they haven't seen? Now, Steve, I know you're watching a show that a lot of people like, that a lot of people have seen, but you hadn't watched it in forever. Why don't you talk about that and what you like about it? Purple will do it that, and I'll give it to, and we'll go.
Well, okay. So, I mean, it actually came from, I got the idea to watch it from Gray, Wakazashi's Tea House, because he had mentioned that he was watching it for the first time. And I said, you know what? I flipped around and said, you know what? That's a freaking great idea. I'm going to go back and watch some Deadwood, especially since they finished it with the movie. So it's just a great show. Now, of course, there's some, if you're not a fan of profanity or the ladies of the night, as Raporo would put it, then it might not be the show for you, but it is acted so well. Timothy Oliphant is just his Western swagger at its pinnacle. Ian McShane, I think, steals the show every time he's on screen.
Whenever he's in a show, whenever he's in any show, dude.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So that's what I'm watching right now.
Oh, Baron, ginseng, cardio, flaxseed oil. Trust me. Yeah, Purple Valkyrie. What are you watching? What are you looking forward to? What can you recommend to people that are going, you know what? I don't have anything to watch anymore, and I want something new.
I desperately need some entertainment. Yes,
you and I.
Where do you point them?
This is true. Purple and I yesterday we had a major
Epiphany.
what do we do? Like
Yeah.
what do we do? And I'm really glad that we could talk about it with you guys. Steve, I did the same thing with Steve. And I taught, Zaxx too. We were just like, what are we supposed to do? I can't keep saying the same things about the same show and shitting on everything. Let's just make a blanket statement. This sucks, that sucks, this sucks. And it's like, I'll make you a chart. I'll tell you why it's like, let's check this box, that box. It sucks. Okay. Now that we all know it sucks, we don't need to say every epping episode sucks. What we can do is say, yes, it sucks. And this episode for that sucked for this reason, but why don't you watch this show and check this out? That's what I'm going to try and do. Now, YouTube will probably destroy me and demonetize me for it, but I just whatever. Sorry, Purple. I'm going on a salty rant, but go ahead.
Hey, you are right as usual. I would recommend Armor if you like that sort of thing. It is very graphic. It does obviously talk about his crimes, but it was very well acted, especially Evan Peters. He really did nail the role for what it's worth. But if you want a fun show that isn't deep, it's a little bit silly at times, but it is a really great and has had 5 great seasons. I would say Cobra Kai. It is just a very fun show to watch. And if you had asked me, pick a film from the 80s that is going to have a successful TV show in the 2020s, I don't think Cobra Kai or Karate Kid would have been in the top 20, but I was wrong, and I was wrong about it when it made the move to Netflix. I thought that the quality was going to go sharply downhill, but thankfully it didn't. What else am I watching? I'm catching up on Stranger Things because I know people said the last season was incredible. So I really want to catch up and experience that for myself. But other than that, it's going back and watching old horror films because obviously we're heading towards Halloween. That gets it going. And I've actually been watching Twilight Zone.
Yeah. And and not just the classic Twilight Zone, and maybe this is going to be considered to be heretical, but in the 80s, they did a short run of Twilight Zone episodes. There was one episode where a guy, I think, gets abducted by aliens and they change his brain so he doesn't know how to speak English anymore, but he says words and they mean different things. Like dinosaur means I love you or something. So this guy, you watch him struggling to string all of these words together
like
into
table
nonsense. Like table, beautiful Tolkien would mean like, can I have a cheeseburger? But like there are all these other things that are out there and they're in the periphery and you can find them, but it's just not going to be new stuff for a while. And maybe there will be. I still haven't watched one episode of Cobra Kai. I've never watched one episode of The Orville. And yes, I know I've heard all the names. I will now because, it's like I will until I see like things that I don't like, no disrespect to anybody. Really. Go ahead, Purple.
And if you haven't seen the Stand miniseries from the early 90s,
it's
highly
really
recommend. Good. It is very good.
That's one I'd like to do a member stream Discord on. Maybe we can do it in 2 parts because I'm kind of seeing the world very differently. Just say that right now. Just Purple and I have talked about it. I'm not ready to sound like an absolute lunatic, but Carol Burnett is outstanding. Dr. Rachel Lindbergh, she is absolutely outstanding. And Nosferatu, we're on team Carol Burnett. Baron Ormond-Tag, agreed. The 80s Twilight Zone was good. It ended too soon. Then, of course, all the creep show stuff. Oh, yeah, the Fed That Shouldn't Be. This is another show, The Last Ship. I have heard good things about that, you guys. I really have. Yes, Nosferatu. I'm going to rewatch the X-Files, too. I'm going to go back to the beginning, even though I know how what's-her-name ends up, who I had a crush on. Scully, turns into the woke lunatic, like all of them. Yes, and of course, Zaxx is here with saying table because it needed to be said. Absolutely. And we were watching The Addams Family, the original one. That's actually a hell of a good show. Yes. Oh, see, Thunder Sensei 150, she knows. Salty's wrong. Cheeseburger is a cat picture. maybe in China it's a picture of a cheeseburger, but not for me. But yeah, I said that. I don't care. You guys, this has been a great show. I love the fact that we weren't that we were not immersed in the horror and the dismay and the transhumanist agenda that is this entertainment. It is just terrible what we've got, and it's okay to reject it. Thad That Shouldn't Be says his favorite TV show was The $6 Million Man, now available in HD. That's a pretty good show. Lee Majors, of course, married Farrah Fawcett, who was on Charlie's Angels. And yes, it's like I'm autistic. Sarah Green, I hope I said that right. It's going to take me a little while. Says, I shall stage a marathon of the original monster movies, Godzilla, Gamera, King Kong, Frankenstein, Nosferatu, and Dracula. Some people have been doing that. I think maybe I need to open up the Discord through Steve to let you guys watch with us, because that's how we've been staying sane. Great minds think alike, truly. Oh, yeah. You guys in chat look at all your great ideas. This is why we want to hang out with you, because you help cheer us up just as much as we help you feel like you're not going crazy. Really.
Yes. It is easy to think that there is just nothing out there and there's nothing to look forward to, but you can always look back. And I think that is the direction, at least at the moment, that we have to go in. And I'm perfectly fine with that, because we have so much incredible entertainment from the past 50 decades to go through.
Yeah. And if there's something you really love, buy physical media. I have a huge bureau over there of DVDs. Most of them are bought from thrift stores, Goodwills. They're $3 of virtually anything that I really cared about. And you can go find it. You really can. Now, some esoteric things, obviously anime, you won't be able to find, but I got a feeling those things in digital, they're going to need to be corrected, or they might be problematic. Or if you haven't noticed, HBO has already started changing movie posters and editing movie posters on their streaming services. They're removing cigars, cigarettes, joints from cowboy movies, and not just the posters, but within the movies themselves.
It's putting up warnings saying that this has themes and whatever that don't really correlate with today's ideology. And I saw that for A King and I. That's ridiculous.
Makes me want to go out and buy a pack of smokes again and drink bourbon and do some target practice out back with the old 22 while blasting 80s metal. You know why? Because kiss my ass. I'm an American, that's what I'm going to do that. But anyway, so let's do this. Let's start winding down. Steve, where can people find you? Talk about your channel briefly. We'll go to Purple, and then we'll let these fine people out there who've been thank you. I just want to say thank you for being here tonight and for cheering us up and for helping us deal with the same insanity the rest of you are all facing. You are not alone, and you are not crazy. So go ahead.
Yeah, so just Prophet of the Dragon YouTube channel. Eventually, hopefully once I get well, I will have a video or two I'm thinking of making, so I'll get on that. I've been getting requests for just a good old-fashioned Wheel of Time chat about the books, not the thing, not the thing that was created, the books.
We got to do that.
So gotta find a time and a date to do that, because it's always fun to talk about the good old fantasy marvel that is Wheel of Time.
Robert Jordan.
So, yeah. So
heck yes.
Yeah. So check it out if you're interested in Discord. It's up there in case we do any watch parties on there for anything. So it's linked on my banner and my channel too. So, yeah. Sorry I was late. Sorry I wasn't. So forthcoming with information, but I'm dealing with a few things, my friend. Ugh.
Steve, I know, and I tease you. There is no, I am so grateful you made time to come on tonight. I'm so grateful we got to talk with Nathan for 2 hours last night just about, am I crazy? Are you crazy? What are we seeing? We're all feeling this stuff in our own ways, not an echo chamber, but just what do we do now? Because it's not just you guys in chat, and it's not just us, on YouTube. We're kind of all going WTF, what do we do now? So Yeah, Max Mercer. Everybody keeps telling me Babylon 5. I haven't watched it in years. I need to watch it. Everybody who sees this show. And then the Terminator Terminator, the Sarah Connor, I can talk, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Purple Valkyrie, where can people find you? What do you got going on tomorrow, which is Wednesday?
It is, and you know what that means, guys. We are back with the woo-woo. Something that we actually love to talk about, and something that gives us joy that isn't pop culture related.
It is wild, weird, I can do this. It's wild, weird, werewolf, woo-woo Wednesday with Purple Valkyrie and Salty. Go ahead.
Indeed. Yes, it is. And I'm really looking forward to that. We've got a lot of awesome topics to cover tomorrow, and quite a few, I think, that are going to pass on over to the next one, which will be on Saturday. But I'm hoping to do a show with Steve talking about Primal, because that is another fantastic show.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that, we highly recommend. And just a few other shows, really. Hoping to do another game stream soon, because we had a lot of fun playing that, and just trying different things, I think, is the way in keeping our sanity, basically.
Exactly. Because as much as you need an escape, we need an escape too, you know? And Louise X Sparrow, Grimm, I liked Grimm. I liked the first couple seasons of Grimm a lot. And everybody keeps telling me get into Supernatural. Steve, I know that you really were into it for a long time. I could never get into Supernatural. But that's the thing about this fandom, is we're not always going to like the same things, you know? But yeah. I of course am Salty Texas C, and it would not be a recommendation show without Stargate. Stargate is a favorite show of several good friends of this channel, OBG70 and others. Look at this. We've got this one from Amanda Manethrin. He says, honestly, I love how excited Purple gets when announcing she is hosting Woo Woo. It's so endearing. Well, she's like that in real life when we're talking on the phone. She's like, oh my God, we get to talk about Woo Woo. I said, I know. I've already got a bunch of articles pulled up, and yeah, it's interesting that they were you guys know this, right? They were testing out the planetary defense system yesterday.
Yes, and they actually hit something.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And why would you invest billions of dollars trying to do this unless maybe you thought something was going to happen? Because it's fascinating stuff. You guys, thank you for being here. We've had close to 30 people most of the stream. I think Zaxx said it. We never know who's going to show up when we turn this on. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friends and my channel members. Thank you very, very much for the super chats. It really it helps a lot. But thank you for your comments most of all. Thank you for your channel memberships and for being here, for supporting all of us. Purple, Steve, myself, Zaxx, Amanda Manethrin, Nerdporial, other small content creators out there. It means a lot to all of us, so thank you. I've got a member chat from the one and only Jaden Hamilton. Hail to you, who's in college, and I need to find out, where are you at with that girl that you like to have the boyfriend? You've been a member for 2 months. He says, hail Wheel of Time and all you awesome individuals. Well, hail to you, Jaden Hamilton. You have been on all of our streams, coming in with your big hello all the time, and it's wonderful to see you. Hail to the Peter Venkman fan site. Hail to Roman of the Empire. He says, whiskey and cigar time. Good night, pal. Nice. I am going to be going over and doing whiskey time. I wish I could do a cigar. Maybe I will again. I don't know. I try to behave myself. You know what I mean? Dr. Rachel Lindbergh, thank you for being the one and only. Whoa, whoa, here she comes. Max Mercer, good night. You guys take care. We're going to go ahead and close out the chat. And I know how to do this. I know how to stream. And thank you. Have a great rest of the week. Please check out Purple Valkyrie's show tomorrow, the Woo Woo Show, at 2 p.m. Central. Be sure to subscribe to Prophet of the Dragon. Everybody, have a great night. Good night.
Good night.